Hello and welcome to day 2 of the MEDICA 2022. We're here in Hall 12 at a famous exhibition stand, Wearable Technologies, really a standard bearer of bringing the cutting edge technology to the market here at the MEDICA. Christian, you're kind of the title head of this stand. What are you seeing as far as trends and developments this year at the show?
Ben, at first, thank you for coming to us. I mean, the Wearable Technology Pavilion is since 15 years now at the MEDICA, one of the hotspots. And every year, I could tell you, it's amazing to see the innovations. But in this year, especially the patches are a very innovative topic, and we will see later on some of the solutions.
Now, we are what most people consider post-pandemic. It's changed, especially for the healthcare industry, basically everything. How are you seeing kind of the acceptance or the utilitarianism of these devices within the medical field now?
COVID was an enormous impact for the wearable market. At the first time, all the medical assistants and the medical doctors getting awareness of the usage of wearables and the big positive impact of a wearable. Especially if you're looking at COVID, the hospital was rowdy, the hospital was overfilled with patients, so the patients had to stay at home. With a wearable, it was possible to monitor the patient at home. And at least the vision, what we all have here together, that then the doctor is calling the patient, hey, come to the hospital, now it's getting worse.
So really more interactive on a real-time level from patient to doctor. Let's have a look at some of the examples that you've brought with us this year.
Yeah, perfect. Let's walk around, Ben. So we are
The stand is already very full. The show just kicked off, but a lot of attention at the stand here.
It's always crowded. It's always crowded with us. And here we have Chris. So you know all this topic of TENS devices. So you could use a TENS device to stimulate your pain, yeah, to bring your pain away. And normally this is done by electrical stimulation. And Chris is the inventor of the same thing, but in optical version.
Chris, tell us a little bit about what it is.
Sure. Basically we're using a printed light-emitting diode patch, and that patch is powered by a little device right here which contains a Bluetooth radio and processor. That then goes through, if we have a look, here's a very nice and interesting thing. We take this nice lady here. Sorry about this. Yeah. There, got
We're live.
Oh, we're live. Great. Well, in that case, we have an application that allows us to go from the device to the patient app into the cloud so that we're able to monitor the utilization and get information with regards to the patient's condition. That then flows directly back to the clinician, allows us to be able to look at the treatment history as well as the outcomes data. And you can see right here, for example, I may be tracking the patient's sleep, the patient's pain score, and the utilization of that patient information. So it's really a very exciting development that we have.
So is this therapeutic or is this monitoring?
We do basically therapeutic device, so our devices are therapeutic, wearable therapeutics we call it, as opposed to monitoring therapeutics. However, the digital health app allows us to monitor the utilization for compliance purposes, as well as getting information from the patients relative to, for example, their physical fitness, their outcomes measurement, how much pain did they have, did they sleep well. This then allows the individual to be, or the doctor to be looking at, how does this tie into my therapy program?
Wow, so therapeutic and monitoring in one. That's very unique.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. It's now covered in the United States under remote therapeutic monitoring. We have new reimbursement codes under Medicare for that. And in many countries, this is a very exciting development because you have the opportunity to treat patients at home, track what's going on. At least in the U.S., we have a big shortage of healthcare workers, physical therapists, and this allows them to use telehealth in combination with digital health, in combination with therapeutics and therapeutic exercise programs. And so we think that that's kind of where we're converging now into the digital world. But it still means you'll come to the clinic, get evaluated, we'll work on that kind of a thing. But by the same token, it's much more efficient to do a telehealth visit if you're seeing how is a person working on their exercise programs or their pain management. So.
It's good you talk about reimbursement, commercialization, obviously an aspect that makes the world go around. Thanks for speaking with us today.
No problem at all. We worked very hard on that. It's not easy to get reimbursement, and I've been part of that whole situation both with CMS and the Consumer Technology Association. We actually also received the 2022 Innovation Award for Digital Health, and I'm one of the guys that wrote part of that standard. So
great. Thanks, Chris. Thanks a lot.
you got it.
And moving on here.
That was a nice solution. Even light could be implemented into a patch. But now let's take a look at the ECG patch.
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
I mean, this is more a classical way to implement an ECG electrode into a patch. And this lady will tell us more about that. It's a Portuguese company, name is Plux.
Great. Go ahead and please introduce yourself and the company.
So I'm Rita Cristóvão. I'm the CEO of Plux, and my company is focused on biosignal sensors that drive innovation in education, research, and healthcare. So we basically build solutions with our sensors from the university students, where we can have the Betolino product line. Then we have the Biosignals Plux line, where you can use multi-sensors at the same time for your advanced research in biosignals. And then you can use also our wearables for OEM solutions and engineering services to remote patient monitoring and remote clinical trials.
And this is obviously market ready. Where do you see your technology going in the future?
So the technology will go further in different kinds of sensors like sweat sensors, microneedle sensors, and also video-based sensors where you can extract biosignals from the video. So that will be our future, and we are looking forward to the next steps to have those kinds of solutions in our portfolio too.
Excellent. Thank you for a very succinct and understandable explanation of your company and what it offers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. And do we have time for another company?
Now to a classical thing. So wearables were growing with a wrist. So everything what you can wear on your wrist. And there's, I mean, one of the most famous companies in that field is Garmin, right?
I did recognize it, yes.
Yeah. But you know Garmin only from the athlete sports, right? And these gentlemen will present us now what they do in the medical field, in the healthcare field. So let's jump here.
Please, go ahead and just tell us, I don't think you need to introduce Garmin. I think most people are familiar with it. What are you actually bringing into the field of medicine and monitoring?
So Garmin Health is a subsegment of Garmin, and we are ecosystem enabler. So every time someone wants to use data from our wearables, from our wrist-worn devices, such as heart rate variability, everything that is kind of optical, coming from our optical sensors, as well as our blood pressure monitor, smart scale, and so on. We enable that data need through APIs and SDKs, and then work with these partners to scale globally. Garmin's present in every market in the world, and we are happy to work with partners to bring solutions, our hardware, our ecosystem, plus the software from an external third party into a market as a new solution in healthcare. And so, yeah.
So you're not necessarily approaching institutions per se, you're looking to partner with people providing solutions and implementing your technology into their solutions.
Exactly. So Garmin Health, as such, has a strategic advantage, I would say, by always needing a partner. So we have to understand what our partners are doing. If we are approached by a big organization in a remote patient monitoring, a hospital or something, asking us for a solution, we'll always have to go back to our partners saying, hey, is this something one of our thousands of partners can deliver from the software piece? And then we find the right hardware piece to make that a full-fledged solution for the market.
It's good to have that clear delineation in many projects, know who's responsible for what. Thank you for finding the time to speak with us at a busy booth here at Wearable Technologies.
Thanks so much. Have a good day.
And we could go on all day. As you can see, the booth is very busy. We are out of time. Christian, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little tour of what you're offering this year.
I mean, there are much more things. I think it's important for your guests, they have to visit it. I mean, 40 companies with a lot of innovation just came by here in Hall 11 at 12 Ds33.
Well said. We're hoping to see you as well at the MEDICA this year. There's a lot going on. Everybody is very happy to welcome you to their booths. I hopefully can say after a pandemic, people are just roaring to get going with business as usual and provide new solutions to the medical field. Thanks for joining us, and stay with us for more live reporting from the MEDICA 2022.